Do you recognize this book? Or are you mentally stable? Yeah, so in middle school, I was obsessed with The Selection by Kira Cass. And for those of you who are, in fact, mentally stable, The Selection by Kira Cass is basically just The Bachelor, except the Bachelor is the prince, right? So if they marry the prince and they become the queen, there are 35 of them, they're all competing. Now people on TikTok are like, this book's not very good. Leave me alone, this is my comfort book. But deep, deep, deep into my selection phase. Yes, that's a normal phase to have, right? I was watching a watchmojo.com video and it was like top 10 failed, cancelled, fake reality shows or something like that. And one of them was I Want to Marry Harry, which is The Bachelor, except with a prince, right? And they're all competing for a prince, and I was like, sounds familiar, except I Want to Marry Harry was fake, because the guy that was playing Prince Harry was not, in fact, Prince Harry. No, he was Matt Hicks. I'm not Prince Harry, I'm Matt Hicks.
Oh my god.
My name
is John C.
And so I decided to watch the whole thing. Only 4 episodes ever aired before it was canceled, but I think there were like 8 or 9 in all. And I watched it all while I was doing schoolwork one week. Look at me, being productive, being multitasking. And honestly, I thought I'd talk about it here today because honestly, I don't think any of my friends care. Probably you don't care either. But this show was so funny and such a hot mess that I feel like I had to bless you with it.
You're sexy, you're cute, you're ginger, to boot. I'm funny, I care. I hope you like to stare. You're wanted, I'm hot. I'm everything they're not. I'm Maggie, Miss Funtime Maggie.
So this show starts and he's like trying to make it seem like a social experiment. Harry, they're like, we found a random guy dressed up as Prince Harry and saw if girls would want to marry him. Basically is how it went down. And so the girls show up and it's this really nice big castle-y looking house in England, and they're like, ooh, and they know they're there for like a dating show, and they're like, ooh. And then Prince Harry flies in on like a helicopter.
To hear this helicopter, and at first we don't think anything of it, and then it just keeps getting closer.
Yeah, he's landing.
And closer.
No, it's not.
What do you see have a green entrance and he is in a helicopter?
Only. Where's my binoculars?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And they're like guards and everyone's like, oh my god, he's important. And someone's like, oh my god, it's Prince Harry. It's like such a mess, but like it's so funny. Like the show's not very good, but it's hilarious, right? We all have shows like that.
I'm going to tell some jokes. I've never done stand-up or anything like this. Knock, knock. Okay, rough crowd. I should have worn a low-cut top to distract you.
And so like the first 4 episodes are pretty kind of lame. I mean, they do this thing where every time they go on a date with Harry, something happens, like paparazzi, fangirls, something.
Up ahead, some planted Prince Harry fans are standing by.
It really is like a dream. No.
And they're like, oh, and then they go back and they go, oh my god, I think he actually is Prince Harry. I think the show was such a slow burn, and I think it's because they were trying not to get sued by the royal family, but like, it wasn't until like there were like 5 or 4 girls left that the guy there was like, yes, this is in fact Prince Harry. It might have been 6 because there was a double elimination. But yeah, I think there were 6 girls left out of the 12 when they finally said, yes, this is Prince Harry. So it's not like even like the experiment part of the show worked. They weren't even like, oh yeah, these girls think they're dating Prince Harry, let's see how it goes down, because they didn't even think it was Prince Harry, most of them. Half of them never even got told this is Prince Harry. And let me talk about Matt Hicks. He is like the most boring man. And like, I don't mean to be rude, it's probably all he was allowed to talk about, but every time they cut to Matt, he's like, I feel so bad for lying to these girls.
Every day I'm having to lie and put up a facade. See you later. And it's only going to get harder, but I think it will hopefully be worth it. See you later.
I hope they still like me when they know it's all a lie. I can't talk about myself. I have to pretend to be Prince Harry every single time for like 9 episodes, and I'm like, shut up. I feel so bad for lying to these girls. No one said you have to. There is literally no penalty if they find out you're not Prince Harry. Like, it'd be cool if like there was, oh, if everyone thinks you're Prince Harry by the end of it, you get a certain amount of money, so there's actually motivation for him to keep the ruse up. But like, he literally at any time could have been like, hey Rose, I am not Prince Harry. And that would have saved their relationship. Because you know why Rose stopped talking to you? Because she realized you weren't Prince Harry after you got some basic facts about the royal family wrong. And she was like, oh, he's been lying to me. And then she just didn't want to talk to you, which is fair, is fair. The first few episodes were weird because there'd be like reward dates, but they didn't do anything to earn them. So like, a few of them would play a sport, right? And then the rest of them would have to make sandwiches. But there was really no way they distinguished it. Like, there was a time they had to ride horses and the rest of them had to clean the barn. But there was no game they won. There was no drama. Like, the girl who stayed in the Crown suite the night before was like, I want these people to go horse riding with me, and the others can do the stables. There was none of that. They just randomly got assigned. And I think that's what made the show not interesting and kind of a flop. Because I don't think it was the fakeness of it not being Prince Harry that made it not get past 4 episodes. I think it was that it was kind of genuinely a little bit boring and a little bit on the tame side compared to other shows of its nature. It was all over the place, and I don't think it knew what it was trying to be. Was it a social experiment or a dating show? Because if it was a social experiment, they did a really bad job at it, because only the girl that won was told, oh, I wasn't Prince Harry. Which, where is the freaking drama? You should have told the final 4 girls. You should have been like, oh, by the way, I'm not Prince Harry. Or let something slip that made it obvious you weren't Prince Harry. Because I would have loved to see the girls fighting. I would have loved to see crying. I know, I love drama too much. But it's a reality show. If I can't get my drama from there, where can I get it? But yeah. Only one girl was told he was not Prince Harry, and she was the girl that won, and she was just there surrounded by cameras, and he was like, I choose you. I don't even remember her name. That's how little of an impact she made. And he was like, I choose you. And she was like, okay. And he was like, by the way, I'm not Prince Harry. And then surrounded on all sides by cameras, he's like, is that still okay? And she's like, yes. And they get like $250,000 for ending up together, even though, because if she chose to be with him, even though he's not Prince Harry, they got like $250,000 or something like that. But also, like, another reason why I think she didn't say no is because it wasn't marriage. It was just the chance to keep dating him after the show. I think if it was like, oh, you guys have to get married now, she would have been like, can't marry someone if our whole relationship is built on lies. But also, this girl seems like such a pushover. Like, no offense to whatever this girl's name is. Let's talk about episode 4, the last episode of this show to air. I think this show aired on Fox or maybe like ABC. I think it was Fox because I remember seeing in the comments, how did these girls think they were dating Harry on a reality show for Fox? Yes. Episode 4 was kind of weird. And episode 3, so in reality shows they always have this subplot where they think that something is wrong with one of the contestants. I don't know what the thing is, maybe to make drama. And like America's Top Model, the drama plot is usually, oh no, I think this person has an eating disorder, and they're usually right. And this one, it was, oh no, I think one of the blonde girls is an alcoholic.
Ah, brother.
Oh, we know, Maggie. You love your beer.
Get drunk. And I'm sitting in the middle.
Excuse
If you really
me?
don't want him to know.
Yeah, so they all think this one blonde girl is an alcoholic. Again, I literally remember no one except Chelsea, Kelly, and Megan. I know. Oh, and I remember Rose! Yay, Rose! I really hope she didn't lose her teaching job because of this.
The foxy preschool teacher that I am,
Okay.
Miss Rose.
They all drink a lot on this show, and I know that's like a thing on reality dating shows. The Bachelor, they let you have 2 drinks per hour, and so all the girls are encouraged to drink their 2 drinks per hour, so everyone's drunk all the time. And so I don't know if that girl's an alcoholic, and if she is, I hope she got help. But the end of episode 3,
You don't know your alcohol tolerance. I think you girls are the mean girls. Don't you dare call me a mean girl, bitch.
You're just constantly judging. Well, when you're making an ass out of yourself, of course I'm going to be judging you.
Jackie is not princess material.
so episode 4 starts, and it's Chelsea and the girl that they think that is an alcoholic, and they're going on the horseback riding date while everyone else is cleaning the stables for like no reason. There's like no competition to decide who does it, the dirty work. There's like no drama, they just have to do it because it's so boring. So their horseback ride up to like this mountainy area, and then they have like a picnic, and there's like beer there, and Chelsea turns to the girl who everyone thinks is an alcoholic, and she's like, wow, aren't you glad there's beer here? And she like loses her shit.
Coming up,
I've seen your wild side.
That wasn't nice.
Chelsea comes under fire.
Stop rolling your eyes because I'm trying to stop slapping your hands at me then.
And then it cuts to like a scene of all the girls at lunch, because they all eat lunch at these like dining table like things, but they cut out the first part of the scene. They cut out like the beginning of the fight, and so like it's in the middle of the fight, and Chelsea's yelling, and she's getting like really defensive, and like she storms off, and like she goes like literally up to the room, and she's like crying, kind of. She's like upset. I don't know if she's crying, but she's like very clearly upset. And then so she kind of just has a little cry,
So I have to pull myself out.
and then she goes back downstairs to Matt/Harry and is like, yo, the environment here is toxic and I need to go home. And then she just goes home.
I just want to let you know that it has nothing to do with you. But there's so much cattiness that's going on. And it's to the point where there's so much negativity.
And like, he didn't investigate into any of the girls. He didn't say, oh, I heard there's been drama, who's causing it. He just like let her go. And it was so stupid. If one of the contestants gets bullied off the show, you should maybe investigate the other contestants, since you're supposed to be dating them, and I don't think you want to date a bully. Anyways, Chelsea leaves, and they're like so shocked, and it's like, yeah, you literally bullied her off the show. And it also makes me mad because they cut out the beginning of the fight, and it's like they're trying to make Chelsea out to be the villain, but like Chelsea's not the villain, and you can tell it just by looking at her and like the way she's saying the things that she's saying.
To pull myself out.
Yeah, so that was that. R.I.P. Chelsea, I miss her. She was like actually one of the only girls I cared about. Another horrible thing with the show is he had to send girls home he actually had a chance with, because as soon as there were whispers of, oh, I don't think he's Prince Harry, even if they had like a really strong connection, he'd send her home because he didn't want her to find out. Like, but there was no punishment if a girl found out, so what was all the problem? Oh, I don't want to lie to the girls. You don't have to. There's no punishment if they find out that you're not Prince Harry. Ah! I know it defeats the show's point, but sending this girl home because you're like, oh, she's suspicious of me. This show is like a terrible place to find love on. I mean, reality shows are, but yeah, this show's a mess. What else do I talk about? I'm going to talk. So, you know how on reality shows, they're all kind of like petty, and they're like, I don't think this girl deserves to be with this guy, and then the person behind the camera is like, why? And they're like, oh, because. But this show, I think, is better and funnier in the way that everyone's like, I don't think this girl's fit to be a princess, and then goes and immediately twerks on Matt.
Judging you. Jackie is not princess material.
But her person.
They're like, oh, she's not ladylike. She's not fit to be a princess. I'm gonna twerk now. So it's so funny. They're all petty and mean to each other for like no reason, because he's not actually a prince. And like they're so rude to each other. Like all their weeks have themes, but like they're not really strong themes. And I didn't even realize it until American Week. Ew.
The American flag.
Ew, 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 American Week. Ah. But anyway, the date was to a diner. Wow. And it was Kelly's steak. Is her name Kelly? I feel like her name's Kelly. No. Her name's Kelly now, okay? So Kelly and the fake Harry go to a diner, and she's like, oh, it's so cute. And then when she gets back, she tells the other girls about it, and she's genuinely so excited. She's like, we had a heart-to-heart, blah, blah, blah. It was so sweet. It was so cute. And then the girls are like, we took her to a diner. Friend zone. Ah.
That was the best date I've ever been on in my entire life.
Clearly, she's in the friend zone.
And we just had like curly fries, milkshakes.
I'm down for whatever. But I mean, would I want to switch dates? No.
I feel like a diner is an acceptable place for a date. Yeah, no, maybe so. But I mean, I guess all the other girls went on like really elaborate dates, so they kind of were laughing at Kelly for having like kind of a lame one. They were like, hee hee hee, Kelly sucks. I think the reason Kelly got eliminated, I mean, they didn't really have that much of a connection, but I feel like he didn't try. Like, I feel like Kelly was like a really nice and genuine girl, and he said that like a million times, but I feel like he didn't want a nice, genuine girl. You think about all the girls he kissed in the show. Wow. Kelly's like a nice looking girl, but she was like not good at flirting. They were just had like genuine conversations, and I feel like it could have been a genuine start to a relationship. But then after she found out he was Prince Harry on their picnic date, she like just kept talking about his family. She was like, Queen Elizabeth's horses, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, it's kind of nice that she's showing an interest in his family, except it wasn't his family, and he was like, oh god, she's too interested in the royal family, gotta go. Gotta go. Also, Megan gets kicked out for bullying. Too little, too late, but Kelly decides to say something. She's like, some of the girls here are not the nicest. And I hate how Chelsea's not even brought up in this conversation, because Chelsea was literally bullied out. But Megan does get sent home because she is mean. And immediately the vibes in the house change. They're like, wow. And then they like are like, wow. It's like not hostile in here. Gotta find someone else to hate. They choose Kelly because Kelly's the one who told about Megan, and they're like, wow, what could she say about us to get us kicked out? It's like she would do anything to win. And it's like, Megan was literally just being a bully, and literally is probably one of the reasons that Chelsea left. Like, I'm okay with Megan getting kicked out. Also, Megan was really funny though. I know she was a bully and she bullied Chelsea out, but like this line, he's having eye sex with me.
Sex. He has eye sex with me. He looks at you.
What does that mean? Is that like a straight person thing I don't know about? Let me know in the comments below. That's so funny. Oh my god. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna be like, yeah, she was having eye sex with me. It's so funny. Yes. I feel like I've talked about all of the show I wanted to talk about. Oh my god, the pageant. They have a fake pageant, and like They all dress up and like put on a fashion show and they like do talent. This girl plays the foot piano and it's like honestly iconic.
Okay, playing the foot piano is a very difficult act. It's a skill, okay? Especially in high heels.
There are archetypes in this show, like there are in all dating shows. There's the, oh, I'm not like other girls, girl. Where she's like, wow, I've never been here. I've never worn a dress or makeup before. If you've watched reality TV, you know the girl I'm talking about. We have one in like all of the shows. And so she's actually the first girl who gets kicked out, which is refreshing. I think the third or second girl who gets kicked out is the girl who's like, I'm a scientist, so I'm smarter than all these girls. Which again, I've seen a lot of reality shows with like women with like these archetypes, and I know like dating shows are inherently sexist, pitting all these women against one guys, but like that doesn't mean it can't be funny and fun. And this was kind of funny and fun, and a lot of people are like, how stupid are these people to think that this is actually Prince Harry? But like if you're flown to England and told, oh yes, this man right here is Prince Harry, I feel like you're gonna believe it. I mean, I'd believe it, but also, where is my brain? I do not know. I do see why it got canceled. It was kind of like not that interesting to watch, because I feel like a really interesting part of like shows like The Bachelor is getting to know The Bachelor and the other contestants. But like in this show, they're just like, I'm Megan and I'm a bad bitch, or I hate lying to these girls. I hate lying to these girls over and over and over again. And it's like, okay, I get it, but like, I don't know. So yeah, that's I Want to Marry Harry. It's kind of a disaster, it's kind of a hot wreck, but it's kind of funny. Not gonna lie. If you made it this far in the video, what are you doing? Subscribe? I don't know, maybe hit the like button, comment your favorite I Want to Marry Harry moment. Personally, I think it's Miss Foot Piano Girl.
Playing the foot piano is a very difficult act. It's a skill.
But if you disagree, please let me know. I would love to know. If you want to follow me elsewhere, I'm at casually_Maddie, basically everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. My first live stream is very soon, so check that out if you want to. And if you ever find yourself in a situation where you are dating a fake prince, just know, at least in a few years, some random idiot on the internet will laugh at you. Okay, goodbye.